What if turning 80 doesn't just change your age, but quietly rewrites the rules of your health, your independence, and even how people treat you? I've seen it happen again and again. Women who were sharp, active, and full of life suddenly find themselves being spoken over in doctors' offices, struggling with energy, wondering, why do I feel like I'm disappearing? It's not just aging, it's a shift no one warned them about. But here's the good news. If you understand what's coming, you can prepare for it, push back against it, and live on your terms. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 brutal but true changes that happen when you turn 80, and more importantly, what you can do to protect your health, your mind, and your spirit. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? What time of day is it right now? Even if it's just a quiet moment in your kitchen or a break in your recliner, I'd be honored to share it with you. Drop a comment below. I really do read them. And if this topic speaks to you, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss what others won't tell you about aging. Let's dive in. Change number 1. A weak immune system. When the body stops screaming and just whispers. At some point after 80, your body stops shouting when something is wrong. It begins to whisper. And if you're not paying close attention, you might miss what it's trying to say. Many older adults in America think they'll feel it if something serious happens. A fever, a sharp pain, a clear sign to go to the ER. But that's not how the immune system works in later life. It doesn't send alarms, it sends hints. Soft, subtle changes that are easy to ignore until they grow too loud to fix. You might feel unusually tired for a few days. You may get confused doing a task that's usually simple, or maybe you don't feel like eating and chalk it up to age. But behind that quiet discomfort, your immune system may be fighting a hidden battle. Doctors call this immunosenescence, a natural decline in the immune system that happens as we age. By your 80s, it's not just slower, it's weaker. It stops recognizing threats as quickly, stops responding as strongly, and sometimes misses the danger altogether. Take white blood cells, for example, the foot soldiers of your immune army. When you're younger, they're sharp, fast, and ready. But later in life, they become sluggish, like an overworked team running out of fuel. They don't multiply as quickly, and when they do, they're less effective at attacking viruses or bacteria. This is one of the reasons why a simple cold can turn into bronchitis. A touch of food poisoning can land someone in the ICU. An infection that might pass in a child in 2 days could take weeks or worse for someone over 80. In America, we often take pride in pushing through discomfort. We say, "I'll be fine," or "I don't want to bother anyone." Especially older women who've spent decades taking care of others often ignore their own warning signs. But here's the truth. Ignoring these whispers can lead to hospital stays, long recoveries, or even serious complications. And no, it's not being dramatic, it's being wise. Fortunately, there's real hope. You can support your immune system even after 80. It's not about reversing time, it's about working with your body instead of ignoring it. Here's how. Vaccines. For seniors in the US, certain vaccines are more than just a recommendation. They're a safety net. The flu shot, shingles vaccine, and pneumonia vaccine are all designed with older immune systems in mind. They don't make you bulletproof, but they can mean the difference between a sick day and a hospital stay. Your plate matters more than you think. Most Americans don't get enough protein as they age. And without it, your immune system doesn't have the raw materials to do its job. Add zinc and vitamin C to that list. Nutrients found in foods like eggs, chicken beans, citrus, leafy greens. Think of it as feeding your defenders. Don't overlook your gut. Science now tells us that nearly 70% of your immune system lives in your gut lining. That means what happens in your belly affects how your whole body fights off illness. Fiber, probiotics, fermented foods. They're not trends, they're tools to help your body stand guard. Most importantly, trust your instincts. If you feel off, don't wait. If you're suddenly more tired, more confused, or just not yourself, say something. Call your doctor, tell a loved one. It's not weakness, it's strength to speak up. In places like Florida or Arizona, where so many retirees settle for a slower pace and warmer weather, I've seen both sides of this story. Some age with awareness, asking questions, taking action, staying strong. Others wait too long, brushing off the signs until it's too late to bounce back. Aging in America isn't always easy. It comes with invisible pressures to stay quiet, stay tough, stay out of the way. But your health, your voice, and your life still matter deeply. You don't need to fight aging, but you do need to listen when your body's whispering, because that whisper might just be the chance to stop something bigger in its tracks. Change number 2, sarcopenia. Muscle loss is no longer slow. There's a silent shift that happens to the body after 80, and most people don't see it coming until it's already here. It's not dramatic like a diagnosis or a broken bone. It's quieter than that, but just as life-changing. One day, you notice it's harder to stand up from your favorite chair. A week later, you catch yourself holding on to the kitchen counter for balance. That's not clumsiness, that's not laziness, that's muscle loss. And it has a name: sarcopenia. It's one of the most common and most overlooked challenges facing older adults in America today. And the reason it matters so much is because it changes how you live, how you move, how long you stay independent. Scientists and doctors across the US have studied this for decades. They found that by the time we reach our 80s, we can lose up to 30 to 50% of our total muscle mass if we're not actively doing something about it. That number may sound shocking, but it's not just a number. It's the difference between walking unassisted or needing help just to get out of bed. And here's the thing, sarcopenia doesn't happen all at once. It builds slowly, year after year, until a single fall sends everything spiraling. Maybe it's a slip on the bathroom floor in Michigan, or a misstep on the sidewalk in Dallas. The fall leads to a fracture. The fracture leads to surgery. Surgery means bed rest. Bed rest causes more muscle loss. And suddenly a woman who was once cooking, walking, and living independently is told she needs full-time care. But this story doesn't have to go that way. Muscle loss is not destiny. It's a process, and processes can be changed. Even in your 80s or 90s, your muscles are still listening. They're still capable of getting stronger if you give them the signal to do so. That signal starts with simple movement, not intense workouts or heavy machines, just enough resistance to remind your body. We still need the strength, chair squats, resistance bands while watching the news, lifting light weights, or cans of soup, if that's what you have. The goal isn't to become a bodybuilder in a New York gym. The goal is to keep your body stable, your legs steady, and your life your own. Because every step you take today is an investment in whether you'll be able to take that step alone tomorrow. And while movement is the message, nutrition is the fuel. One of the biggest myths about aging in America is that older adults need less protein. That's simply not true. You need more, not less, because your body doesn't process protein as efficiently as it used to. Most experts recommend 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. For a woman weighing 150 lbs, that's about 68 to 82 grams of protein each day. That could mean eggs in the morning, chicken or fish at lunch, a protein shake or Greek yogurt in the evening, small changes that add up to real strength. If you're spending a lot of time indoors, especially in northern states like Minnesota or Vermont, don't forget about vitamin D. It plays a key role in muscle function and balance. Talk to your doctor about checking your levels and whether a supplement could help. There's no denying it, aging brings challenges, but not all of them are beyond your control. When it comes to your strength, you still have a say. You still have tools. You still have power. So, if you're feeling like your legs aren't as strong as they used to be, if you're noticing more fatigue when standing, walking, or even climbing a few stairs, don't shrug it off. Don't say, well, this is just getting old. Say instead, what can I do today to keep my body moving tomorrow? Because here's the truth, plain and simple. Aging will try to steal your strength. You must steal it back. And the best part is, you still can. Change number 3, you become invisible, even in the clinic. There's something that happens quietly as we get older, especially after 80, and many women don't even realize it at first. You go in for a checkup, sit on the edge of the exam table, ready to ask a few questions about your health. But instead of speaking to you, the doctor turns to your daughter and answers her instead. They nod politely when you speak, but rush through your concerns. And when you ask about a certain test or treatment, they respond with, well, At your age, we usually don't recommend that. You're still present, still thinking clearly, still living your life, but somehow in that room, you start to disappear. This isn't your imagination. It's a very real issue in American healthcare. Doctors have a name for it, even if they don't always say it out loud: medical ageism. It affects thousands of older adults across the country every single day. In hospitals from Chicago to small-town clinics in Kansas, time is tight, appointments are short, and systems are built for speed. When faced with a packed waiting room and limited minutes, many healthcare professionals rely on shortcuts. And one of the easiest shortcuts: your age. They make decisions based not on your unique history or your current goals, but on assumptions about what someone your age would want, could handle, or should expect. She probably doesn't want surgery. He might not tolerate this medication. Let's skip that test. It won't change anything. But those are not facts. They are assumptions. And when assumptions replace real conversation, you stop being seen as a person and start being treated like a statistic. It's frustrating, yes, but more than that, it's dangerous. Because when your voice is left out of the conversation, so is your power to make decisions about your own health. Many women in their 80s across America have shared the same stories. They say they feel invisible, dismissed, or politely brushed off. One woman in Florida told me her cardiologist kept talking to her son, even after she clearly asked the questions. Another in Oregon said she was told she didn't need a bone scan because, at her age, it wouldn't change much. But here's the truth. Your age should never erase your right to know, to ask, or to choose. You are not just 80. You are someone with a life full of experiences, preferences, and goals that matter. So, what can you do when you feel like your voice is being ignored? Ask better questions, questions that bring the conversation back to your terms. One of the most powerful things you can say is, "If I were 60, would your recommendation be different?" That question pushes the doctor to reflect on whether age is influencing their answer more than evidence. Don't be afraid to say, "Please explain all of my options, both the aggressive and the conservative ones. I'd like to understand them before deciding." Because you deserve more than a pre-made plan. You deserve choices, real ones, made with your full participation. And if you ever feel like your concerns are being brushed aside, if your doctor talks over you, makes assumptions, or avoids your questions, you are allowed to switch doctors. Yes, even at 85. Yes, even if you've been with that provider for years. Your healthcare is just that, your care. We know that good healthcare isn't just about medications or lab tests. It's about trust, dignity, and being truly heard. That starts with recognizing your own value and expecting others to do the same. Now, let me speak directly to you. You've lived through decades of change in this country, from the civil rights movement to smartphones, from handwritten letters to FaceTime calls with your grandkids. You've raised families, worked jobs, survived loss, and adapted more than most people ever will. You have a history. You have a future. You have value. And you should never let the number on your Medicare card define how you're treated. In that exam room, your voice still matters, your questions are still important, and your care should still be centered on you, not your birth year. So, the next time you feel yourself becoming invisible, pause, take a breath, and speak up. Because the truth is, you were never meant to disappear. Change number 4. Cognitive decline is not inevitable. They say memory fades with age, like pages in an old book slowly turning blank. But what if that's not the full story? What if your brain, even in your 80s, still has the power to learn, adapt, and stay sharp if you give it the right care? The truth is, your brain does change as you get older. Processing speed slows down. Multitasking can feel like juggling on ice. Names may not come as fast. It might take a minute to recall where you left the keys, but none of this means you're losing your mind. It simply means your brain is working a little differently now. And that's perfectly normal. Studies from top universities across the US, including Harvard and the University of California, show something remarkable. Older adults who continue to challenge their minds, who stay socially and mentally active, maintain better memory, reasoning, and focus, even when brain scans show signs of aging. That's because the brain isn't a fixed machine. It's a living network, and like any good network, it reroutes, reconnects, rebuilds, if we ask it to. This ability is called cognitive reserve. Think of it like a backup system your brain builds over time through education, curiosity, social interaction, problem solving. If one part starts to slow down, another part can pick up the slack. But here's the catch: this reserve doesn't grow by accident. It grows when we stay engaged, interested, and mentally alive. Sadly, many older adults in America fall into what I call mental retirement. They stop reading new books, they stop asking questions, they rely on routine, and over time, their days begin to look the same. It's not laziness, it's loneliness, fatigue, and a culture that quietly tells older people to step back, stay quiet, and let the world move on without them. But that silence is dangerous because when the mind isn't challenged, it begins to shrink. Not just physically, but in confidence, creativity, and clarity. Now, here's the good news. You can change that starting today, and it doesn't take a miracle. It just takes a few simple choices, done consistently with heart. Start with movement. Yes, movement, not just for your body, but for your brain. Walking for just 30 minutes a day has been shown to increase the size of the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory. Stroll through your neighborhood in Missouri. Take the long way to your mailbox in rural Pennsylvania. Move with intention, and your brain will follow. Then there's conversation. In towns across America, I've seen seniors light up just by talking about their past, debating the news, telling a story to a grandchild. Social interaction doesn't just warm the heart, it activates regions of the brain responsible for attention, language, and memory. Try something new, learn how to use that iPad your daughter gave you. Start writing your life story, even if it's just one paragraph a day. Try watercolor, even if it's messy. When you challenge your brain with unfamiliar tasks, you force it to create new connections. And those connections build resilience. And of course, fuel your brain like it matters. Because it does. Your brain is made of fat and water, and it depends on nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, hydration, fish like salmon, leafy greens like spinach, and a tall glass of water can do more for your memory than most pills ever could. The truth is, aging in America comes with pressures no one warns you about. You're expected to slow down, to fade into the background, to watch the world instead of being part of it. But you don't have to accept that story. You can choose a different narrative, one where your mind is still curious, your voice is still heard, and your best thoughts are not behind you, but ahead of you. Because here's a simple, powerful truth. Use it or lose it. The world shrinks unless you keep it open. Change. Number 5, your world shrinks unless you fight to keep it open. There's a moment in later life when the world starts to feel a little smaller, and it doesn't happen all at once. It starts quietly. Maybe you stop driving at night, then not at all. A friend moves away, another passes, the book club ends, the church group dwindles, family visits stretch further apart. Suddenly you realize your days revolve around the same few rooms. The living room, the kitchen, the bedroom, familiar spaces, yes, but also quiet ones. Peaceful at first until the quiet becomes too loud. In towns across America, from sunny retirement communities in Florida to quiet rural homes in Nebraska, millions of older adults live this exact reality. After age 80, it's common to lose the mobility, energy, or access that once made staying connected feel easy. The loss of independence, combined with fewer social opportunities, can slowly shrink the world around you. And it's not just about missing people, it's about missing your sense of place in the world. What many people don't realize is how this shrinking affects the brain, the heart, and the body. Social isolation has been shown to increase the risk of depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, even early mortality. According to the National Institute on Aging, chronic loneliness can be as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But here's the tricky part. Depression in older adults doesn't always look like sadness. You may not cry or even feel down. You may just lose interest in things you once enjoyed. You may sleep more, eat less, and feel your days blending together in a blur. and too often, those symptoms are mistaken for just aging, or, worse still, misdiagnosed as early dementia, fatigue, forgetfulness, disconnection. In reality, the brain may just be starved of stimulation, purpose, and social interaction. But this isn't a message of fear, it's a reminder that you have more control than you think. Even if your world has gotten smaller, you still have the power to open it back up, one choice at a time. Let's talk about what that looks like in real life. You don't need to fly across the country or host a dinner party. Sometimes it starts with something as simple as saying yes when someone invites you to a local event or joining a group at your community center, even if you're nervous and don't know anyone yet. In cities like Portland, Oregon, or Charlotte, North Carolina, senior centers now offer classes in painting, Tai Chi, smartphone, basics. You walk in a stranger and leave with new stories, and maybe new friends. Volunteering is another powerful way to stay connected and feel needed. Read to children at the local elementary school, write letters to veterans, help shelf books at the library, tutor students in reading. In small towns and big cities alike, America needs your wisdom, your warmth, and your time. Technology can help too, even if it feels intimidating at first. Many libraries offer free tech help for older adults. Once you get the hang of it, a FaceTime call with your grandchildren or a weekly Zoom with old friends can lift your spirits like nothing else. Even sending a photo, a text, or a short video. Message can remind you and them that you're still part of their lives. And sometimes the best medicine is a change of scenery. You don't need to go far. Even visiting a nearby park, museum, or diner in the next town can wake up your brain and reset your mood. New sights, new sounds, new smells. They spark something in us that routine can't. And most importantly, know this. It's okay if it feels hard at first. It's okay if you feel hesitant, shy, or unsure. What matters is that you try. Because if you don't fight to keep your world wide open, it will quietly close around you, not out of cruelty, not out of neglect, but simply out of silence and stillness. But you are not meant for silence. You are not meant for stillness. You are still here, still needed, still full of stories, laughter, and presence. So, make the call, join the group, take the drive, even if it's just one town over, because your world is still out there and you still belong in it. Final thoughts. Your story isn't finished. Before we say goodbye, I just want to gently remind you of the heart of today's message. Aging may bring change, but it never takes away your right to. Choose understand. Stay connected to your health and your voice. Your story isn't finished, and every day is a chance to live with strength, clarity, and purpose. Of course, if you're noticing any new symptoms or managing a specific health condition, please don't wait, talk to your doctor. There's no substitute for personal care from someone who knows your full picture. These tips are shared for general awareness. If you're facing any health challenges, be sure to check with your doctor before trying anything new. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What part of this video resonated most with you today? Was it a reminder, a new idea, a quiet nudge to take better care of yourself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I truly do read them, and your words may help someone else too. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell, and share this with a friend or loved one who might need to hear it. And as you go about your day, I hope you take a deep breath, step into the sunshine, and remember, you're still growing, still learning, and still deeply valued. Take care, and I'll see you next time.